Hello, and welcome to Writer Wednesdays with Sara. I'm Sara R. Turnquist, multi-published clean historical romance author. I want to continue something special that I started a couple months ago. See, years ago, I tried my hand at publishing a collection of short stories. This collection is in my Convenient Risk series. I have these two supporting characters that I was really wanting to dig more into their backstory, more into their situation and relationship. So I did I'm going to call it funny, lighthearted collection of short stories. This book right here called These Golden Years, a convenient collection of short stories. And so earlier this summer, we started the story set during February. So for this book, each short story is labeled for a month of the year. There's 12 short stories, 12 months in the year. And I'll pick up where we left off last time. So this is February again. The title of the short story is called Trust is Golden, and we are reading scene 4. Okay. Dorothy directed the horse's movements home. Not that her efforts were necessary, the horse knew the way, most certainly. But it gave her a sense of purpose. Even when Owen was at the reins, he needed direction too. That man would have them halfway to California if she wasn't watching him closely. But as she neared the cabin, she was determined to be understanding, determined to be patient, no matter what, whether he was home or not. After all, if he wasn't at the cabin, there must be a good reason. She had to trust him. And she did. Didn't she? This just wouldn't do. She did, for goodness sakes. It was up to her to quiet this crazy back talk her mind was giving her, or was it her heart? As she pulled the cart to the log structure, she didn't wait for Owen to come out for the horse and wagon. She maneuvered the animal toward the barn, put the mare in her stall, and secured the cart for the night. Then she headed into the cabin. She entered to lanterns set dimly. Still, it was light. Was Owen home? "Owen?" she called. "Yes," he answered from the back sectioned off area that made for their bedroom. "You all right?" Her concern teetered on worry, but she managed to keep it in check. "Yeah, just getting this old body a-moving." She let out a breath. At least he was home and whole. They'd managed his troubles with his hip rather well, and she refused to think what it might be like if it got worse. As she moved toward the stove, the floors creaked. She needed to warm something for dinner. Maybe they could have something cold. It had been a long day. The need for coffee was great, but the desire for a good night of sleep overruled it. No sooner had she put a pot on the stove than the hunkering steps halted behind her. "Well, hello." She turned. "Hello?" With nothing further, she went back to pulling the few things together for a sauce. "That's it?" Owen's voice was more gruff than usual. "It?" She didn't look up from her work. Was she tired or just keeping her emotions in check? Besides, what could he mean? Was he cross about something? "Let's see. Last time I saw you, you accused me of smoking too much or lying. Then, if memory serves, you stomped off and slammed the door." Dorothy stopped her vegetable chopping. "Oh, that. Yeah, that. Is there something we need to talk about?" She met his gaze. There was not anger there, but confusion and concern. She didn't have time for that. Her focus returned to the cutting board. "No, I was just in a mood." "Mood?" She kept cutting. "Well," his voice trailed off. Then nothing. Heat crawled through her. Would he just stand there and stare at her? What was in his head? She shot a glare at him. "Owen Miller, I declare. If you have something to say, I'd rather have you get it out." Even as she continued to stare him down, she flinched. This wasn't at all how she thought this evening would go, how she wanted this evening to go. What was she doing? She had determined to be gracious and peacemaking, no matter what the old goat did to earn her ire. "Ah," he started. She folded her arms across her chest. Why was she putting up such a front? Owen held up his head. "I just wanted to ask you to the Valentine dance on Saturday." What had he said? The Valentine dance? Was he asking her to the Valentine dance? Right now? He really was a mystery. He stood his ground, eyebrows raised. Was he truly waiting for an answer? She had never wanted to full out sass a man in her life so much. Really, give him a piece of her mind. But something in her held back. Something that was softened by her conversation with Amanda. The part of her that knew Owen better, that knew his heart was always in the right place when it came to her. "I would like that," she managed to get out. "Now don't go doing me any favors." "You know better than to think such a thing." She almost cracked a smile. "Go on and set out a couple of plates. If you want to eat tonight, that is." He was a mess. Her mess. Somehow she'd have to figure out what to do with him. Thank you for listening. I hope you have a great week. See you back here next time for another Writer Wednesdays with Sarah. And if this is your first time joining us for these golden years for February, then you can check out the playlist linked below to catch the other scenes. Thank you. Bye.